Good evening, Nishad. Good evening, Mr. Nishad.
Good evening, madam. Yes, madam.
Yes, we'll wait for another 2 minutes
It's
and we
all
will
right.
start.
Okay. Okay, right. Madam, actually, now how long we have to learn this comparative education is too long or for a
Today,
certain.
yeah, for the BEd students, today is the last class.
It's okay. Right. That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next week I'm starting the new batch.
It's okay, madam. This is what, because I have been trying my level best to make myself qualified. So it took time because I have been working for a long period of time in the language of English, and
Uh-huh.
I started my career since for a long for 2 decades, over 2 decades of time. But uh,
Uh,
I was struggling doing conducting classes, and all these things were going on. I
uh-huh.
have been learning English. Yeah, I've been learning English since 1988,
Uh-huh. So you
and
didn't think of higher studies?
yeah, that's what. This is the thing
Uh,
happened to me. And for
that's
the last
that's what.
time, yeah,
Yeah,
proceed, madam.
mostly if you are doing classes, there will be no time to think because
Yeah,
every time you have to be ready with the class and you
that's
have to
what.
perform well. Otherwise, people will leave. No, those challenges are
Yeah,
there.
there. And also, I have I have been appointed very recently in the year of
Uh,
2015
uh,
as a government teacher. Before I have uh, I have been I have been teaching English for a long period of time. Then I entered this the teaching field, especially in government sector, in the year of 2015. So it took time, and I went to Saudi Arabia and Dubai, and I did a lot of work there as a different um, occupation. I did, especially as a security guard, salesman. All these things happened to me, and
uh-huh.
I came back. So with the children and everything. So this time I have been trying my level best to complete this, and that's what the things
For
are going on.
education, there's no age limit. No? So you
Yeah,
can
it's okay, madam.
study
Yeah,
anytime.
you don't believe
Yeah.
me. I am very
No?
much interested in literature. So
Uh,
one of my teachers taught me literature very well. Then I am very enthusiastic and voracious in learning literature, so I can do as well. Appreciation and so. Anyway,
mm.
let's see. And what about the modules? So we have done
Module
those.
and all the presentations sent to the group, right?
Yeah,
Today I have shared all the, even the module. I got the
yeah.
permission from them and
Oh,
they have already uploaded in LMS itself,
ah,
right? But anyway, they have formulated a WhatsApp group now, so I have uploaded everything.
that's right. You told me your madam Elango, na?
Ilango, yes, I'm Lango,
Elango,
Silprani
yeah.
Lango.
Elango, right, that's right. Good, nice. Okay, madam. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for responding for my
Okay. Yeah, no need
few
to
words.
worry, right? So people have ups and downs,
And actually, no,
difficulty.
now this is what I have an idea after completion of this. I also would like to conduct. So teach like you. I don't know how
Right.
so far it is possible, right?
Now,
So
no,
the only thing I
don't
want to make
stop
myself
from this
qualified. Yeah.
B.Ed, right? And you start with you can continue with masters. So
Ah,
if you're
that's right.
qualified with masters, you can do lectures for College of Education and even this campus. There are a lot of campuses now, no? Right?
Right. Even SLEAT I also can. SLEAT.
Yes, yes. If you
Nice.
have
However,
MBA qualification, you can do
yeah,
lectures in B.Ed, right? So,
right, that's right.
Bachelor of Education, of course, there are two types, not Master of Education, two types. One is SLQF 9 and the other one is SLQF 10, right? So,
Right.
one is 1.5 years and another one is 2 years. 2 years Masters means you no need to do the MPhil, you can directly do the PhD. The other
2 years.
one,
Yeah.
the SLQF 9, it's give just a qualification. You will get the master's certificate, but you are not doing a research, right? Only project.
Only project.
Yeah.
So 2 year course actually that's directly master. Then after that I can do
PhD.
PhD.
Yes.
That 2 year course is very good. What do you say?
Yes. Yeah. Even you can do research in literature. Then you're
Ah,
yeah. Then you're qualified for
yeah,
literature.
that's right, madam. So after completion of this, I can do. I can involve
Masters.
in my master literature
Yeah.
can be done, right?
Yes. Yes. You
Ah,
can
okay.
do.
Let's see. However, in the future, let's see. However, I will keep in touch with you, and however, I will ask you right
Okay. Okay.
about the path.
Welcome.
And
Welcome.
yeah,
Definitely, I
thank you
will
very
help
much.
you. Okay.
Yeah, but for for especially grammar, I learned by heart many things in connection with the language of grammar. So
Ah.
my writing skill is actually I myself have improved a lot.
Then
So
it will be very you're fortunate to for the academic writing. The language
yeah,
is needed, no? Right? Mm.
right, that's right.
Okay. Okay,
And
children. So we'll start. I think
okay, right.
for the B.Ed students,
Okay,
today
thank
is
you.
the last class. Already we
Yeah.
have covered most of the
Yeah.
parts, right?
What is the title today, madam? Regarding South Africa, South. You told me last time we are
No,
going to.
we did the reforms, no, right?
Yeah,
So from 1972 to 2007, we did.
yeah.
But we have to do before that, before 1972, right? And then the one lesson is left from the module. I will touch that, right? And I will go through the module also a little because you can
Okay,
read
madam.
that, no?
Especially
Only
we are going to learn. We are going to learn in UK.
UK, we have learned, no?
Yeah,
Right?
we have already completed. I mean, before
Yes.
72 means what is the country?
No, before 72, what are the reforms we had in Sri Lanka?
Ah, right, that's right. Before
Education
70.
reform, right?
Ah.
Okay.
UK has already we have completed, right?
Yes, we have completed.
Ah, okay, madam. Right. Thank you very much.
Mm. Right. So here, the uh, is it visible? Can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So not last week, day before yesterday, we went through reforms, education, Sri Lankan education reforms after 72, right? So now we are going to see what had happened in before 72 in education, right? So always we have to think of our independence in 1948, right? And Dr. W. Kannangar also made a huge change in our education system. right? So that also as teachers, right? So these reforms, knowledge is very important, right? If someone asks what had happened before independence and after independence, we'll be able to explain, right? So educational reforms in Sri Lanka before 1972, right? So, overview of major educational reforms from colonial period to 1972, right? So, from 1972, we learned, right? And focus on access, language, equity, and national development, right? So, now, of course, we have schools and 10,000 schools are available. Even if that is not enough, right? We have to have more schools, more universities, right? So when we are learning Japan and all, they have 700 odd universities and technical colleges, so people can continue their higher education without any barriers. But in Sri Lanka, we have only 20 national universities, and recently only they introduced non-state universities and private universities, right? So non-state and private universities, it's not free, right? Only state universities are free. So the students are always trying to enter state university because of the free education, right? So it's give a huge pressure on children, right? Our A-level exam is a barrier, right? So before educational reforms in Sri Lanka before 1972, sometimes you would have heard, right? So 1931 to 1947, uh, only that is Dr. W. Kanagara's period, right? Uh, so he took so many initiatives, right? So, however, the progress achieved during the period slowed down unimpressively immediately after independence, right? So, even he lost his seat, right? He had done so much for poor people and for our education system, even though people reject him, right, once, and after that he came again to the political arena, right? So, as you all know, right, 1956, right, it's a remarkable year because SWRD Bandaranaike government made Sinhalese the official language of the country in 1956. Before that, the colonial period, the medium of instruction is in English, right? So the change in the medium of instruction in the secondary and higher educational levels, control of schools, school curriculum, university admissions, everything got changed, right? There
Yes,
was a
madam.
great politicization. Yes.
Yeah, now you have given us education before the 19th century.
Yes.
It's related to UK. It is related to the UK. Church,
So
schools,
Sri
grammar
Lankan
schools.
education and the UK education
Now that
have
day
got
actually,
compared.
madam,
Yes.
yeah, excuse me. That day actually, you spoke a lot about UK, the education about UK, and
Yeah.
again you mixed with that Sri Lankan education also. That I I have a little bit confusion about that. The place where
No,
you
no need to confuse. No, here this is somewhat related to that colonial period is over now, right? After that only we got independence and SWRD Bandaranaike and is in, he came to rule in
no
1956.
no not
So
today the lesson. I mean by the earlier one I'm talking about.
yeah, before 1972, right? So now the reforms, education reforms, what happened before 1972 And after 1972, there are lot of reforms, right? 1972, 1981, 1992, 1997, and 2007, right? But before 1972, there isn't much, right? So the special person is Dr. W. Kannangara. He only made a revolution in education system because he introduced free education to Sri Lanka, right? And even free books, right? So that's what. So don't mix with UK. UK, because we have to compare UK and Sri Lanka because we have a lot of similarities. Because UK colonial period, they were the people who introduced education system to Sri Lanka. So we have a lot of similarities, right? So in 1956, the single only bill, that means act passed by 1956 XWRD Bandaranaike government, making Sinhala is the official language of the country. That is also a remarkable change. And there is another thing you have to think, centralized administration included education, right? So establishment of Department of Public Instruction. See, Holbrook and Cameroon reforms in 1833. That is also very old. So historically, what happened into our education system? That's what we are learning. No need to memorize or anything, right? But as teachers, you must know what had happened before in our education system, right? That's what I am teaching this, because the past and the present, future, right? What had happened in the past, what is going on now, and what will be our future. But what are the things we are going to make change in the future? Even in the present situation, information technology included. So our curriculum changed, right? So other countries, of course, developed already with information technology. So under comparative education, right, we are comparing, right? Why we are comparing? We must know where we are. Then only we can improve ourselves, right? So this actually the objective of this subject is you have to compare and contrast about education system of Sri Lanka and other countries, and what you can do to what service or what recommendation you can make to enhance our education system. Because so BEd students means you all are for teaching, right? So you all are going to continue with the masters, right? So if you are qualified with masters, you can become teacher educators. So mostly teacher educators are participating in curriculum development, right? When you're participating in curriculum development, this knowledge is very important, right? So English education expanded for civil services needed. So this is 1833 means it's a colonial period. So it's so this is directly their ideas, right? So this is a recommendation of the Kannangara reforms. So this is our local person, no, Kannangara. So 1943 to 47. So introduced by Dr. C.W.W. Kannangara, free education from kindergarten to university, equal educational opportunity for all children. And his another biggest change in education system is introducing central school. Even this I explain, right? Scholarship examination and central school. So these two things are from Kannangara. And another point you have to know is in 1959, the government took control over the schools, right? They brought all the schools under government scheme. Few private school left, right? All grade 3 schools be taken over by the government, right? In 1945, only the first group of students sat for the O level in their mother tongue. So after introducing mother tongue, 70% of the population they involve in education, right? So can you tell me what is the type of schools we have in Sri Lanka now? So here the central schools developed, introduced by Dr. W. Kandangarano, right? Now they have changed the type of schools. What are the type of schools we have now?
National schools, private schools,
Yes.
semi-government.
Semi-government? No, yes. That also one category, right? So there are 4 type of schools now. Yes.
ABC.
1AB, 1C, type 2, type 3.
Type 3.
Right? Those are the types. So what is the difference? 1AB school mean what is it?
The number of the students, madam? The student
No, actually, yeah, not the number of students, right? Number of students can be varied, right, according to the population. If so urban side, the population is high, so the schools will have more population, right? So this 1AB school means, right, GC advanced level, grade 12, 13, science medium is available, right? And 1C school, grade 12 to 13, arts and commerce streams, but there's no science stream, right? 1C. So type 2 schools with classes up to GCO level, and type 3 schools, primary schools, right? Grade 5 to 8. Right? So the preschools are different, right? So it is not included into our school system yet, right? Maybe in the future they might include, right? So earlier, right, before
AB,
72,
could you tell
they
AB?
had,
1AB?
yes,
1AB is which category 1AB?
GC advanced level, grade 12, 13, right? Up to grade 12, 13, that school must have, and they are the 1AB schools only have science stream. That means all the other streams also available. Speciality for 1AB schools is that school is having science stream. So if a student wants to do science stream, that child from rural area have to go to the 1AB school.
Then 1C?
1C, there's no science stream. Arts and commerce is available for A level. Other two, type 2, type 3 school, there's no A level, right? Type 2 only up to O level, and type 3, grade 5 to 8. Right. So the central schools, right, reduce urban rural educational disparities. That is the objective of establishing central school by Dr. W. Kannagara. But now recently they have done some research, right? So the central schools are not functioning well, right? So the other schools are functioning well more than central schools. So the objective of W. Kannagara is not actually successful now, right? I think they are going to do some changes, and they wanted to enhance the central school system again. So provided education in mother tongue, right? So that is also at that time, 1956, they brought this mother tongue education system. So in free education system introduced in 1945, education made free at all levels, textbook, tuition, and facilities provided by the state, major milestone in democratization of education. That means education for all, right? Everyone is eligible to go to school and study. So mother tongue instruction policy, Sinhala and Tamil introduced as media of instruction, improved access for rural and disadvantaged students, reduce dominance of English medium elite education, right? So, the English education, elite means the rich people, right? So expansion of higher education. University of Ceylon established in 1942, right? So University of Ceylon is now Peradeniya University, right? Expansion of teacher training colleges, focus on producing professionals for national development, right? And education reforms after independence, state control over education strengthened, focus on national identity and social equity, preparation for structural reforms after 1972. So significance of pre-1972 education reforms are few, right? Not much. Promoted social mobility and equity, increased literacy rates because they introduced mother tongue, laid foundation for post-1970 education system. So the important part in before independence and before 1972 is Dr. W. Kannagara's work in education system, right? Right. So, so this is the last module's last chapter, right? So you can read that last chapter because I have already uploaded that module also, right? So I wanted to give some new perspectives of globalization and internationalization in education, right? So in that module, right, you will find information, I think in up to 1996, right? So introduction to globalization and internationalization. So now we are globalized citizens, right? So international schools are available. Most of the students are migrating to for higher studies, right? So this also a important point, right? When I think under comparative education in that module, uh, so they try to introduce and make an awareness for globalization and internationalization. Under why we are including this under comparative education? So Sri Lanka also under globalization, no, right? So we have to think of other countries. Our students have to compare with other country standards, right? So globalization, increasing global interconnectedness in education. And already I have explained when curriculum development is so done by NIE, right? They used to go through lot of countries' curricula, right? So if they are prepared, plan to prepare grade 9 civic education means, right? So there are more than 164, 144 countries now. I'm not sure the number. So relevant to our education system, right? They will select, right, at least 10 to 15 countries and go through the civic education syllabus of grade 9, right? So they will get an idea what type of syllabus we have to prepare. So we are comparing with global aspects, right? What they are doing, right? So where we are, we have where we are standing, right? And promotes knowledge exchange and global cooperation, influences curriculum teaching and learning, right? So now I think most of the university lecturers also, they are doing PhD in Sri Lanka. But earlier, right, almost all the lecturers are going abroad to do PhD, right? So that means, so why the government is sending them to another country to learn that country's education system, right? And how they are teaching. So it's the exposure, right, for the lecturer, and the lecturer will share the knowledge what they got from that country will be coming to Sri Lanka, right? So promotes knowledge exchange and global cooperation, influences curriculum, teaching and learning. And how they are teaching, what is the teaching method they are using. Those things are important, right? So we have to think out of the box now, because as a global citizen, we can't say, no, we are doing this much of this teaching methodology in Sri Lanka. That is not enough, right? So as teachers, we also have to update our knowledge. So colonial education as a force in international education. So colonial powers spread Western education system, even in our country. British system was introduced. Introduction of European languages and curriculum, right? They are giving priority for English, and they introduced their curriculum. Established formal schooling structures. Even the structures are also similar from that country, because we can't blame them. They are the people who ruled us, right? So influence administration and governance, created global educational links. So what is the impact of colonial education? Right? So we started with colonial education. No? So what
You
is the
showed earlier,
impact?
for a minute, could you
Yes.
show the earlier?
Yes. So shall I change now?
Two seconds, madam.
Mm.
Okay, madam.
Okay. So here, so colonial period and now means what are the changes took place? Why? Right? We have to think, right? We can't have actually. So as a so you are teachers, right? Uh, and the colonial period, they introduced the British system now, right? So the British, that means UK is a developed country, already developed, right? But our country is developing country. Our resources, our traditions, culture, everything is different from them. But anyway, they introduced their own education system to us, right? Still, I think the framework was the framework of that British education system, not much changed, right? So there are some changes took place, right? So when we are preparing our curriculum and the syllabuses, we have to think of our country's resources and how the children are going to use or invent or do something new to our country resources, right? And then impact of colonial education. What is the impact they made to our education system, right? Spread of literacy and modern knowledge, right? So they, so those days English is a medium of instruction, right? So the people who learned English at that time, right? So they went to Malaysia, Singapore, and they able to work very well because of the language, right? So spread of literacy and modern knowledge, cultural domination and loss of indigenous knowledge. Um, so because of English, right? So the cultural domination and loss of indigenous knowledge, right? So now, of course, our people, uh, we are talking about our culture, traditions, and things. Right now, most of the youngsters have changed, right? So they like to be modern and following foreign countries, right? So educational inequalities. So the elite people will get English education, the other people will get mother tongue education. Even the facilities of schools are different. So education inequalities. So especially now we have one AB school uh, with science stream, right? But those type of 1AB schools are not available in these rural areas mostly. So educational inequalities. Everyone is not get the same opportunities. Foundation for modern education system, right? So now the modern education system means online education and inclusive education, um, the adult education, formal education, non-formal education, informal education. So those type of education came, right, after colonial period because they are expanding their areas, views, long-term influences in developing countries. So our Sri Lanka is also developing country. So long-term influence is there, right? That is the impact of colonial education. So now technological advancement and post-colonialism. So this is a huge impact, right? Technological advancement. So technology supports educational independence. Right? Nowadays, educational technology is a subject for BEd students. Information technology, e-learning in education, right? So in our campus, we are offering those subjects for BEd, e-learning in education and information technology, because teachers must know regarding information technology and what are the tools they can use, e-learning, right? And how to use, especially in the future, I think even the schools have to, they are going to use LMS to upload marks and things, right? Even now, I think most of the private schools are doing. So technology supports educational independence, access to global knowledge and research. So you can see the difference, right? When I'm doing my research, this internet was not available. So these chat GBT and then AI is not available, right? So everything we have to read, and photocopy only, machines only available. So we have to get photocopy, right? Everything is not relevant. So we have to, even for small things, right? So we have to spend a lot of money to photocopy that, right? And reading and writing everything, maybe in typing, right? We know only typing. So at that time, the searching for information is not that easy, right? So libraries are available, but limited books, right? If one person took a book for 1 week, right, the other students are not available. So waiting, they have to wait for the books. But now in internet, right, at the same time, so million people can read that same book. So see the opportunities we have now, right? So you can download, you can save, and there are a lot of website is available, right? So for the research, if you are going to select 5-year journals, right? So if you are going to the Google Scholar website, right, just type your topic, right? So you will get within that 5 years, if you have to mention the durations, so you will get all the books, all the journals, right? So how easy. So you're going through the abstracts and download, right? So the literature review is very easy, but for us at that time, it was very hard. So even now students are finding very easy to gather information. So that's what in this 21st century, right, teachers have to use project-based learning, collaboration, collaborative learning, and this questioning, inquiry-based learning, right? Because the children can gather information very easily, and now it is student-centered education. So teachers are going to be facilitators, right? So these things also we have to learn from other countries, right? So we have to compare what are the methods we are using. So Finland is the best education system means what they are using, right? So to be best, what are the things they are using, right? So we also have to think of that side, right? And promotes cultural identity and local knowledge, reduces colonial influence in education, supports online and distance education, right? So distance education also modernized education, right? After introducing distance education only, the literacy rate of world people increased. So London University only start the distance education first, right? So the post-colonialism in education, so reform of colonial curriculum. What are the reforms? So that's what before 1972, right? We learn because we have to know what happened during at that time, right? So reform of colonial curriculum and promotion of indigenous knowledge, right? At that time, indigenous people, we learn the language issues, right? So how the indigenous languages are using, right? Now, how they came to English instruction, right? So likewise, promotion of indigenous knowledge, educational self-reliance. So why we are learning? But for education, for self-reliance, right? Everyone need a job and they have to earn and they have to run their family. And national identity development, right? So this is Sri Lankan students, this is Indian student, Philippine student, Finland student. So national identity, equal educational opportunities, right? So after colonial system, right? So people are going to, they started to think equal educational opportunities, right? So everyone, especially Sri Lankan literacy rate is 96%. It's a 96% means everyone wants to learn. Every parent is sending their children to school, right? And the emergence of regional collaborative organizations. So UNESCO, right? And SAARC, European Union. So regional collaborative organization. This is not Sri Lankan organization, worldwide organizations, NGOs, non-governmental organization, but they are the people who are working for education all over the world, right? So collaborative organizations. So those organization helps poor countries, developing countries, right? So why they are helping? They already compared, right? These countries are not much developed, right? So the other countries are already developed. So to make them equal, right? So these organizations are helping. Promote educational cooperation, student exchange programs, right? So when we did our A level, right, long before, this student exchange program was there, right? So particularly in grade 9 and 10, right? So the schools, so foreign students are coming here and our students are going there, exchange program, right? So for the period of 6 months, they will learn, right? So here grade 10 means the student will learn in another country's grade 10 class, right? So they gave that opportunity. Sri Lankan government gave that opportunity, right? But I don't know whether now it is available. Policy development and research collaboration. So the world expectation is, right, research. So now even I think you are going to do a small research, right? And masters, you are going to do a big research, right, for 6 months. And then the next step is only research, right? So why they are giving priority for research? Finding new knowledge, solving the problem, right, of education system. So that is needed, right? Policy development and research collaboration. Quality assurance in education. So that is also globalized one. Quality assurance, whether the education system is accepted by other countries, right? So whether our degrees are recognized by or accepted by other countries for the higher education, right? Accredit is also another word, quality assurance. So from regionalization to globalization. Earlier, we are thinking inside Sri Lanka, and now we are thinking of other countries, right? Regional cooperation expanded globally. International student mobility, because our students also migrating. So they have to have the standard, right? Basic standard, otherwise they can't cope up with that country's education. So global educational standards, cross-border education programs, and global knowledge sharing, right? So this is also one of the initiate now the government is doing. So the recent developments in internationalization of education, recent developments, right? So this is what I have told. Now we have not only the state universities, non-state universities, private universities, right? So international universities and branch campuses. So even in our campus, right, London University branch is there. The students can do first year here, right, of the London University to get the London University qualification. Second, third year, they can go to the London University and continue, right? So international universities and branch campuses. Solartro University, Australian University also have a center in our campus. Asia University is having a center in our campus. Nilai University, Malaysian University also having a center. So students have opportunity to do foreign, they can get foreign qualification by starting or Nilai University, of course, that university is conducting all the exams, but no need to go, the students no need to go to Malaysia, right? So they will do all the needful and offering Malaysian qualification, right? So the international universities and branch campuses, that means it's a huge opportunities for children. Earlier, only the state universities. So if the students are not entered to the university, there's no chance to do degree, right? But now lot of opportunities are available. So that is the recent development in internationalization of education. Student and faculty exchange programs, right? Uh, so foreign so I think most of these non-state universities are now trying to attract foreign students, right? So student and faculty exchange programs. An international curriculum. Right? So now international schools are having international curriculum, edXL, Cambridge, right? So global ranking system. So then IELTS exam means it's a global ranking system. Everywhere it is accepted. TOEFL means a few countries, they need that score, right? National standards, global ranking system. Cross-cultural learning. So multicultural, so if we are thinking of America, a lot of cultural people are there, migrated people. So it's a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multicultural country. So cross-cultural learning. And then technology and international education. So this is the challenge now our students are having, because recently Sri Lanka started technology stream. But anyway, most of the students have learned this information technology. At least they have some qualification for that. Online. So online learning platforms. So online courses are available right now. You are here, but you can do one another universities, foreign universities course through online, right? So online learning platforms during the Corona period, Sri Lankan schools also did online platform used. Distance education. Can anyone explain what is distance education?
Learning remotely, like
Learning?
learning remotely, because physically they cannot be present.
Yes, right? So
Yeah, the students who are unable to attend the classes from far away, so this system make the students easy for them to follow the educations in an easy way using these Zoom classes, and also their distance education is very helpful for the students and the
yes,
learner.
yeah, right? So that's what. So maybe working mothers, right? Pregnant mothers, right? And some in some families they don't want to send ladies for far places. So that type of, but those people also like to learn. So they can use these online distance platforms, right?
And also,
So
especially the saving time is very much important there. And
yeah,
saving money, saving time, saving money,
saving
saving time.
time,
Uh,
traveling, no
yeah,
traveling, right?
no more
And
traveling. All these things can be reduced because of this
yes,
distance
traveling
learning help.
expenses. Hmm. So just think, right? So if we are uh, earlier from Candy means if I'm doing a course in Colombo, I have to travel for more than 4 hours, right? And come back for another 4 hours. And if there are 2 days classes, I have to find a boarding place. So how much I have to spend, right? So if the classes are giving in online, right? So distance education means the teacher and the students are in distance. They are not in the same classroom, right? At this the distance education means, right, normally in a class we have only 35 students, 35 to 45, right? But in the distance education, one lecturer can deliver the lecture more than 500, 600, because they are at home and listening, right? And earlier they send notes, right? So that system started in India.
Yeah, madam.
That system.
So all these systems have been introduced by the government, especially after 2015, like that, or very recently after Corona period, can we say?
Yeah,
All these
after
education
Corona,
systems have been introduced.
possibly they have to start, right? Earlier, they're not much interested in that online education.
And also, my question
So,
is, all these categories are included in the recent education, right?
no, distance education started early, right?
And
Not in even open universities doing
modern
distance education, no, right?
yeah,
So in our
modern technology
country,
recently, right?
yes, open universities offering distance education. They have a module
I mean,
system.
the
Yeah,
modern technology,
everyone
all
saw.
these systems have been
Yeah.
introduced recently, right?
No. Distance education, online
I mean
education
by
is,
madam, I mean by not
yeah,
the first education. I ask you about the recent education actually using the project and all these things have been introduced recently, right? Am I right?
yeah, recently in Sri Lanka, right?
Recently,
Recently in Sri Lanka, right?
you
So
can say
distance education started in London
2020,
in 1950s, right?
but Sri
So
Lanka, can we say
yes, Sri
2020?
Lanka, Sri Lanka uh, in 1970s, I think, in Open University started. They started distance education. They have the module system. So module is the teacher, right? They are offering modules. The children have to read and understand. And once in a way they are meeting, right? Day schools. That is also not compulsory. And they are sending CDs, and you can contact your lecturer over the phone, right? So that type of things. So even now, most of the postgraduate diploma holders are from Open University because of this distance education, because it's easy for them to continue, right? So a distance education, virtual classroom. What is virtual classroom? So that is a recent one, virtual classroom.
That is a
Virtual
classes where
laboratory.
where you use technology and online
Yes,
education
yes,
through
right. So
Zoom,
virtual
like how we are
classroom
doing.
is also a kind of online education. So virtual laboratory means, right? So I'm a science teacher, but I don't have a lab facility in my school. But if I have a projector, right, I can show a, uh virtual laboratory to the students, and how uh, the experiments are going on, practicals, everything can be uh, virtually, the children can learn, right? So virtual classrooms. And have you heard about flipped classroom? What is flipped classroom? So it is very popular in uh, Finland, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines. They are using that method, flipped classroom. What
It's
type
a
of?
outside classroom.
Not outside.
Or is it that they swap classes, like they switch classes to learn different subjects?
The flipped classroom means, right? So now what we are doing, the children are coming to school and we are teaching and giving homework. That is the normal procedure what we are doing. But in the flipped classroom, right, teacher have to prepare all the learning materials and send beforehand to the children. So they have to learn at home that materials, and the next day the teacher will do the homework with the students, right? Uh, so we know the students are individually different. The speed of the learning is different. So all the type of students, right, even the gifted, slow learners or average students, right, everyone, according to their speed, they will learn at home, right? So the parents also can help, and the parents also know what the students are learning. Next day, the teacher will assist, right, with the homework, and also they will discuss, right? So the children have already at least have some knowledge regarding the learning material. But our system, right, we are explaining everything, right, and asking to do some work. So that is the flipped method, right?
Madam,
So
the flip
yes,
method actually the thing, however, if the teacher tries to do the things almost all things in the classroom, it takes time. So by this time, when the students bring all these things home and do however according to their speed, they work slowly. Some students can work fast, and the teacher also can save the time after bringing all the activities given by the teacher. The students can be brought to the class. Then the following day, the teacher can discuss and direct them, saving time as well, right? This is the
yes,
system.
yeah, yeah, because the teacher can do more work with the children. Individually,
However, when
the
it's a
teacher
mathematics,
can help.
if there's
Yes.
normally if there's average student or slow learner will
Hmm.
take much time in the classroom, right? So
Yes.
other students can't learn. So that's why
Hmm.
by giving like this, they can do all these things at home and come back the following day, right?
Right. So that's what we are, when we are comparing, when we are learning the other countries' education system also, from that only we are coming to know these type of things also can be done, right? So now I think most of the private international schools are following this flip classroom, right? That's a good thing, right? So global research collaboration, digital knowledge sharing, right? So under digital, this teaching, this all information technology is included. So technology and international education, right? So now we are moving to that part now, right? So benefits of globalization in education, right? So what is the benefit? Access to global knowledge, cultural exchange, improved quality of education, innovation in teaching methods, employment opportunities. So these are the benefits of globalization in education, right? So recently I went to Canada, right? And I visited 2, 3 universities. I just wanted to see the structure of that universities. And also I spoke to the children who are migrated from Sri Lanka in different stages. Grade 5, grade 4, from the beginning they are in Canada, after O level, right? And grade 9, 8. I met so many children. Uh, so they all so from one grade 5 student, from grade 5, after scholarship one student went. So that student told Sri Lanka, when she was in Sri Lanka, Um, so she felt like education is a burden thing, lot of competition, and every day she had classes for scholarship exam, and there's no fun. And but in Canada, the education system is not burden. They are giving lot of fun activities for them, it seems. They are giving so many projects, so they have to collect points um, to enter the university to do, so they have to do community projects. So they told that they never miss even one day school. They love to go to school. When they were in Sri Lanka, they don't want to go to school. They it's even Saturday, Sunday is also not free, it seems, in Sri Lanka. So almost all the students are uh, so few students told that we got some insight, and now we are able to compete because we got the foundation in Sri Lanka, like, right? So mixed uh, is comments. So that why why I gathered some information, because so I'm also in a campus, so I can use in my lecture those experiences, and even the structure. Uh, so we can do some change in our structures also, right? That's what we need: globalized exposure. So innovation in teaching methods, employment opportunities, and challenges of globalization in education. So challenges also there: cultural homogenization, digital divide. So cultural, um, so in one, this so Canada, our students of course feel like Sri Lanka, because every class, right, in specific area, right, in one class, if there are 40 students, 20 are from Sri Lankans, right? 20 are they have Sri Lankan backgrounds, right? So that is also uh, there, right? So cultural homogenization and digital divide, inequality in access, right? Everyone can't go to these international schools, or um, everyone can't spend so much money on these foreign universities, right? And brain drain, if students are going outside, our country will face brain drain, loss of local values, right? So our traditions, culture, everything is losing by us, right? Challenges in global education. So, and the conclusion: globalization transforms education systems. Technology enhances international learning, balance between global and local needs. Education promotes global cooperation, right? So now we go to our module, right? Your module. So I already uploaded, you can go through that, right? So the last chapter I have this given you in the PowerPoint presentation, right? But here this module given lot of datas, right? So we'll go through that also. Right, so this is the last chapter, globalization and internationalization of education. So you can see colonial education as a force in international education, technological advancement and post-colonialization, emergence of regional collaborative. These are the topics I also had in my presentation. But you can get more informations in your module, right? So here, so describe 3 international influences on Sri Lankan education in the present day. This is pre-testing. This is the module system, distance education, right? So this module will be given to you, right? And you have to read all the things, right? And you have to test your pre-knowledge by answering these questions, right? So describe 3 international influences on Sri Lankan education.
The data are given, the whole things are given, but we have to read and answer, right?
Yes.
It's okay then.
Post-test also there, right? So after reading, you have to test the understanding, right? Because you are the teacher is this module, right? So the way the writing module is something different, right? Not like textbooks. So during which period did international forces start to influence education in Sri Lanka? From which countries did this influence mainly come from, right? Portuguese, and then the other countries. So there are 3 countries, right? The last one is the British, right? So India,
UK.
Yes.
Portuguese, Holland, and UK.
Yes, right. And is in your opinion, what are the reasons for increased interest in international education during the recent period? Why people want to migrate? Why they are interested, right? Right. And here you can see, you probably are aware, it was during 16th century that imperialistic powers from the West started colonization in Asian and African countries. So identify examples how education in the Western countries influenced Sri Lankan education. So this is colonial education as a force in international education. So they are talking about 15th century, right? So until 15th century, all countries maintain trade relations mostly with their neighbors only.
Talk about the African education system, right?
Tanzania's education system, African education system was not included in your syllabus, right? But African education system is also very, that means they suffered a lot, right? So Tanzania education system means, so especially the Nirare, right? So the president, he became a president, but his leader's son, because of that, he got the opportunity to educate in a good school, right? So in that African countries, right, the white people, they don't like to be with them. So the government is time to time they are introducing new policies, but it's very difficult to connect them, right? Even though the government is formulating policy, both whites and blacks together, blacks are very happy to be with whites, but white won't come to school, right? They need a different school life, right? So Nirare, of course, didn't feel much because he's a very talented student. Everywhere he excel in education. He studied so many the degrees, right? Uh, he made a revolution in Tanzania education system, right? So he's from a very indigenous family, Janaki. That name is Janaki. That troop, right? So that indigenous peoples, this. So the African education system, of course, we can't take as an example, right? Because it cannot be compared with developed countries, right? So why even our most Sri Lankans are not migrated to African countries, right? So they are always preferring to go to Commonwealth countries. And in Africa, the native language is also there, right? So those things. Right. And colonial education force, right? So countries like Spain, France, and England in the forefront in colonization conquered Asian, African, and Latin American countries for trade purposes. Even Sri Lanka is also a good market for people, right? So the good is that means the stones, right, available Ratnapura side, and these spices, right? So for that, it's our country is very popular. So colonization could thus be construed as the beginning of globalization through the limited extent. So that is the start. They started with trade, later one by one. So it is the beginning of globalization, mixing. The colonial rulers realized that it was necessary to produce rulers who were loyal to the empire, and that imperialist culture had to be infused into the local culture. So, even the British, the Portuguese, and Dutch, right? So those people came here and they spread the religion also, right? And as colonists, educational policies expanded and the indigenous education system gradually declined. So every country faced these things, right? So as the number of colonies increased, the foundation for the creation of the relativity uniform education system throughout the world was laid. So one advantage is also there, right? And technology advancement and post-colonialism. So technology advancement, we can't compare with other countries because now only we are starting, right? So all the other countries, they have almost well developed, right? Even our neighbor country, India, is developed in ICT, right? And the emergence of regional collaboration organizations. So some other, we learned UNESCO and another two NGOs. Now here you can see in 1950 onwards, right? NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NAM, Non-Aligned Nation Movement, Asian, of course you all know, EC, European Community, OPEC, Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries, SAARC, South Asian Asia Association for Regional Cooperation. So these are few organizations. So some of the organization, NATO, NAM, Asian, have aligned themselves together on the basis of common philosophical perspective accepted by them, right? But UNESCO is purely for education, and UNICEF is they are doing children's, they are considering children's welfare. So those NGOs are very popular now, right? So SAARC means Sri Lanka also a member in that SAARC countries. India, Pakistan, Bhutan, Nepal, Maldives, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. SAARC countries. And regionalization to globalization. You can read this, right? So can you identify common words term in this definition? You will probably identify the following: distance, spatial, relations, transaction, movements.
Will you send all these things to the LMS when
Yes,
they are?
yes. Yeah, it's
So
also already uploaded to the LMS by Apex, right? But I also uploaded in, they formulated a group for you all, BED
yeah.
TESL. So I have
So
uploaded.
we have to read the whole things and answer the questions given by you, right?
Okay, right. So the standard complaint about globalization is that it leads to cultural homogeneity. So, the now almost the developed countries, right? Maybe Australia, America, Canada, England, right? So I don't know about. I have been to America also, right? Uh, so uh, so the people are telling something, right? So the black people are there, and you know, uh, a lot of negative aspects, right? Uh, but I went for only 10 days, no. So
What do you like to read there, madam?
but
What
to
do you like to
see,
read in America? Don't you like? And what is the reason? Just this, apart from this.
no, My
What?
son, I went for my son's this convocation, right? So he only took me to this mm, for a so just for a tour, like
How
right.
do
I
you
went
feel
to
living in?
yeah, it's a very clean, right? Very clean place. It's a very huge country, but we went for a certain places, no, and people are very nice, right? I went to the convocation, no, so I saw right all the parents, right? So they are not treating only their sons, right? They brought these bouquets or at least one flower to all the students. That means batchmates. Right? So in my students, my son's batch, right? Few, they are not taking much students, no. I think only 30 or 35. So all the parents brought things for that 35, right? So they are very united, and they spoke to me also. They invite me. So compared to them, right? So totally we are different, no, in color, and we are not much tall like them, right? So, but those people also very nice. I thought in a different way, and the children, right? So all the children, my son's friends, right? Girls and boys, they came to the airport, right? For the send off, because myself and son are departing now from the America, and we are coming to. We went to this America, right? So in this is one the actually I can't remember those names now, right? It's a very that university also. It's like a very beautiful place and with lot of flowers. It's like a garden, right? They gave a accommodation for me in the hostel, right? So the hostel means it's like a five-star hotel, right? So I just walk around those places, the common toilets, right? Oh, very clean, right? It's like a new toilets. I don't know how they are maintaining, right? But students are using. So uh, I don't know how they are maintaining and things, right? And this the hostel, they are giving food now, right? So food also like a they have to they have already given a card. So the every type of foods are available, right? So they have to pay, right? That card means they have to pay for them, but any amount they can eat. So that's what the difference I saw from our country and those countries.
The
Uh,
life is very rich. The life is very busy and very tight. Okay,
yes,
and
yeah,
also
always,
many people say that it takes time to become rich. Most
yeah,
probably, it takes
they are
25 years to
very,
become rich.
yeah, and
The money is in the bank, the car is on the road, and if the
mm,
people sleep, right, they
mm,
can rest, and if they get up, they have to run. So
yeah,
sleeping and getting up, running, the money is in the bank, and the car is on the road. This is
mm.
the life they spend. So the people say in that way, is it true that
Right. So they are working for 6 or 7 months, and after that they took leave and they are going abroad and enjoy. So that they no need to save money, no, because the government is going to look after them in the olden age. So that is the I think. So but they have to work very hard. That is true, right? Everyone is very. That means they don't have time, right? That's the thing. And beautifully maintained, and I saw a good attitudes, right? Even the small children, they're not putting anything down. Huge bins are there, right? The small children also can, they have steps like, right? So if every single small children also using the bins correct, in a correct way. So I think, uh, so don't know whether the children are learning from the environment or the schools are teaching that, right? Uh, and I thought the children will be very aggressive, right? So to see they are very good, right? And they are very lovable. They're communicating in a very polite way. And so they are using thank you for everything, right? So that's what uh, the perception is different, right? So I also thought America means it's uh, something different, right? But to see people are, so they are very good, right? Helping mind, and they are respecting. So those are the things we need, right? Uh, okay. So the internationalization of education. So I can see the difference in my two sons, right? The second son only educated in that Netherlands and America. He got the scholarship, and the eldest one got a scholarship to India, right, from the Peridini University. So I can see the huge difference, right? The second son can do any work, right? Cleaning or anything, right? Even cooking he can do, but the eldest son can't do anything, right? So see the so the difference in their life. So those American universities are giving 20 hours working hours per week. So they have to work. They can earn, right? But in India, there's no this part-time work, no, right? So globalization. Uh, Read this, you will get some more knowledge on this activity. Go through the curricular reforms introduced in Sri Lanka from 2000, right? But I have explained before 1972 and after 1972, right? So after 2000 means only one, right? 2007, right? But that is not enough. As a teacher, you must know what has gone through, what are the changes, right? From the earlier, from the beginning, right? And they are talking about UNESCO, Microsoft, Asian Development Bank, right? So these are the people who are giving loans. So international agencies and donors have played a key role in persuading national states and implement these shifts in curriculum, right? Even to prepare curriculum, the World Bank is funding, right? So example, in Sri Lanka, around 500 small schools were closed down as being non-productive. Parallel to this, more and more international schools are established without any state regulation or monitoring, attracting the affluent students through the lure of English medium's instruction, emphasis on ICT, and the opportunities for international higher education. Right, so most of the international school students are migrating. Some schools, so they are giving scholarships also to foreign countries. So globalization forces nation states to focus more acting economic growth promoters for their national economies than as protectors of the national identity. Right? So even our poor mothers, right, they are going abroad to work, right? Housemaids, why? They can earn money, right, for their life. Even others also, in Middle East, there are a lot of Sri Lankan people are working, Dubai, so many countries, right? So they are paying, especially skillful people can earn a lot in foreign countries, right? So due to this globalized society, right, earlier, now most of the students are writing Korean exams to for the job opportunities available in Korea, right? So and Japan, right? So they are the JILTS, right? That exam in our campus, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, they hired our all campus and doing the exam, right? So I think more than 5,000 students, 3,000 or 5,000 students are doing that Japan exam, language exam. Right, so the Japan people are coming and conducting that. They are the people bringing everything done by them, but invigilation and supervision are done by our people, right? So that that is also kind of internationalization. They like to go to Japan, right? So to go to Japan and Korea, they must know the language because they are using their mother tongue in those countries. So so here they have mentioned, right, parallel to these changes in some countries like Sri Lanka, international schools which do not conform to the legislation on medium of instruction or the national curriculum are being established. The demand for these schools are from parents who cannot get their children admitted to prestigious schools and who wish their children to be educated in English medium and who can opt to sit University of London or Cambridge GCO level and A level examination, right? So whether these schools inculcate a sense of patriotism, a national identity or pride is what the indigenous to our country is an open question, right? So so our people, if they are wanted to migrate and they are having a dream, right? So we can't expect the patriotism from them, right? So during the last 2 decades, developing countries have seen a large number of universities from the developed world establishing their affiliated institutions, campuses, and branches in developed societies. Right, so there are a lot of foreign universities have branches in Sri Lanka now, right? So a good example of internationalization is Malaysia, where a large number of Malaysian students opted to study in Australian universities, and Malaysian universities were assisted to by Australian universities to develop. But the present Malaysian universities themselves are attracting international students. Even we have the Nila University, Malaysian University, biotechnology in our campus, right? In addition, Diversity is at the heart of concerns surrounding international education, for there is a fear that globalization brings wholesale homogenization of culture. Right? Another example, Australia students from overseas from increasingly large component of the international movement of people bringing issues of engagement with cultural diversity. The students perceive Australian qualification as useful, recognized global tickets, or consist of those for whom a tertiary education at home was either not available or deliberately restricted. So I think Sri Lankans are prefer to be in Australia, right? Most of so they have to pay a lot, right? So if but the Australian government is helping, right? So the Sri Lankans are very comfortable there, right? And technology and integration, international education. So technology contributed in a large way to bring together countries which are located in places far from each other, and also to improve social relation among individuals, group of nations. So we are doing courses online means because of technology. We can give a call within a minute with through WhatsApp means it's a technology, right? So we are having tab and these laptops, right? And smartphones especially, right? So everything is coming under information technology, right? So under technology, there are now, so education technology is a very important subject because you must know what are the technology you can use to make efficient your teaching in education, right? So there are a lot of apps available, and in the future, so they are going to learn the subjects also through gamification, right? So future is with technology. Without technology, we can't survive in the world, right? So in the summary of this lesson, in this session, we have focused on the phenomenon of globalization, and it's related to concomitant of technology to understand how these significant forces which came into prominence during the last 2 decades has led to an internationalization of education. We tried trace the development of internationalization, especially from colonial period, and secondly, on regionalization and emergence of regional cooperation in different parts of the world, right? So you can read this, the negative, the advantages and disadvantages also there, right? So these are the learning outcomes. Define globalization. You must know what is globalization. Identify the effects of globalization on internationalization of education and perceive effects on transfer of knowledge, economic development, employment, and migration in countries of the world. So trace developments in education in developing countries and especially in Sri Lanka, resulting from globalization and technological advancement. Evaluate the positive and negative effects of globalization on education in developing countries and Sri Lanka from the wider perspective of outlaw of funds, brain drain, and cultural diversity. So Sri Lanka government is offering scholarship for lecturers in the university, but they are going and not coming back. Right? So within few years, they will pay this bond money, and they are not coming. So free education, right, from grade 1 to university education is free, right? How much money is spending on each student, right? Government is spending huge amount of money on each student education. So as teachers, right, we have to make them aware, right? So they have to have patriotism as well as they have to think of what the government has done to them, and they have to do something for the country, right? So even the doctors, right? So to educate a doctor, how much the money the government is spending, right? So they are going abroad and not coming back. No, they wanted to earn more money, right? Not they don't like to give services, and now they are doing a lot of strike, right? How the patients are suffering, right? So where's the attitudinal side? So those things also, as teachers, you have to think, right? Because every these educational aspects are starting from school, right? So this is the last 8th chapter, right? Uh, and the 7th chapter is human development, right? Education and the human development. So here you have already studied about the education system of United Kingdom and Japan. Go through those sessions and see whether the educational aims in those countries have changed during the recent years, right? So I think I have given new changes also I included, right? You can go through that. So UK, Japan, we learned. So new trends in education and developed countries. So and fifth one. So a lot of data given. So you can go through. So here the subjects and all, right? The highest qualification level attained by sex according to social economic group father, that day we learned this, right? So equity, and the introduction, right? So now almost we covered briefly, right? So you have to read and collect more information regarding the things, right? So is there any clarification or questions? Right, so the question paper also based on this, right? So you'll be able to answer. There are a lot of choices in your paper. So any questions?
Excuse me, ma'am. All the PDFs and PPTs are based on this module?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
Right.
all
So
what we learned.
anyway, I have included some new changes also, right? Because the recent changes are not included in this module. So those things also I have included because as teachers, you have to update yourself now, right? Any other questions? Uh, so to summarize, right? We have learned regarding education reforms, education systems in different countries, and why we have to learn comparative education. That means what is comparative education and why this subject is important for teacher training, right? And especially the comparative education is needed for curriculum changes, subjects, and we are living in the globalized society, so we have to check whether we are in a correct place in global, right? So we can't be so lower standard than other countries because now uh, we are linked to other countries, right? We can get any information from other countries. Our students are migrating. So they are going for higher education. So we have to give a good basic for them, right? So for that, we must have the knowledge of other countries, maybe development, what are they are doing, especially regarding education, syllabuses, curriculum, teaching methods, subjects, right? So that is what the objective of this subject. So why we are learned, the Finland, of course, not included in your syllabus, but I included in Finland also because Finland is the this best education, the world accepted, right? So what is going on there? Why they are considering as best, right? So to know that we have to learn that system, education system also.
Excuse me, madam. So exam systems are not introduced in Finland, right? So that
No,
is
they are
also
not
one of
much
the reasons.
interested in written examination or anything, right? That's what, right? They are not
So
very
books are
flexible.
practical, right?
They are very flexible and they are not keeping,
Practical.
yes, they are not comparing students and not exam oriented. Uh, and in the primary section, if the students are willing to learn, only the teacher can teach, right? So, through that system, how they can become the best. So, uh, that's what all the countries are. Even Sri Lankan principals are going to learn something there. The government is sending teachers and principals for training, right? And they are very strict about teacher education. Then recruiting teachers is very strict.
By being teachers, there's a big issue because nowadays in this modern era, the students are not ready to listen to the voice of the teachers. Actually, it is difficult for the teachers to control because of the government influence, and as they have introduced the human rights and everything, The teachers can't ask the students to do their homework, and also the students can't they can't be sent out because of having done their not doing their homework, and all these things are there due to several reasons. In this modern era, the students don't study. Some, except some students, the majority of the students don't learn very well because their etiquette and the behavior are not accepted by the teachers. The teachers are very loathsome, and they hate the behavior of the students. So they are, in my case, I have been facing these type of problems in teaching to
In
the
which
students.
country, Mr. Nisad? Which country?
No, yeah, in Sri Lanka, I am
Sri
telling now,
Lanka.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Our students,
students
suppose
are
they
very,
are not respecting teachers and they are not,
the students are
their
very strict.
attitudes completely different, right? They are living in another world, right?
Yeah, in the world,
So
and I don't think that
don't
how can they respect the teachers, and how can they study from the things from the teachers? Because as the students respect the teachers are ready to give the good things and the right things to the right place, but the students are not ready to get those things. Especially the girls are ready.
no, nowadays I no, actually the blames have to go to the schools, right? So uh, so the children from good schools, right? So the disciplined schools have those things, right? Especially uh, so
The thing
my
is, madam, sorry for this one. Another
yes,
thing is, although if we ask some things from the students to do their homework, or by if just for an example, if they insist them, the parents phone us. Why do you ask questions like this? Why do you
and the other thing is
due to that,
tuition.
due to that, the teacher comes, teach, and go. If you like, you can learn. Otherwise, leave us, right? And correct for correct and incorrect for incorrect, sign not completed, and these things are going on. Especially girls, they learn. They like to learn because um, uh, their attitude and behavior are totally different from the boys. However, they have an art of learning by heart and memorizing. All these things are there. They learn, but actually, it is pathetic for the boys. That's what I know. Okay, madam.
Right. So, I don't know, then we have to think of our future. That's what we have to change our teaching methods, and we have to understand what the interest of them, right? So that's what the information technology, one side advantage and the other side disadvantage. Especially even in campus, right? Most of the students, sometimes when we are lecturing, they are with phone, right, sending messages, and uh, so it is very uh, and disturbance also, and it's not a good practice. uh, so I don't know, but now each and every student have their own smartphone, and it is needed to gather some information also when we are giving group activity. So they are using that, and nowadays mostly AI, right? Okay, we'll try our best, right? So these, especially uh, teacher training program means, right? So I used to share all the experience of mine because the teachers must understand how the things are going on in other countries and how we have to think of our children, because our children also going to be in the globalized society, right? And the word of work need is also like foreign countries, right? So we have to prepare good balanced students for our community, otherwise we can't think of uh, the good future, right? Okay, students, thank you very much and wish you all the best for the examination, right? Thank you for your participation.
Thank you very much, madam. Actually, really.
Yes.
Thank you very much for giving
Right.
us a good.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you very much for everyone, right? And do the exams well.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, good service in your school.
What about the date of exam, madam? Will we be informed?
That of course decide by Apex. They will inform you all. And
Right, okay, ma'am.
yeah, yes. Okay, then good night.
Good.